Hey everybody, I'm going to show you how to do an emoji using Sketchbook. I started to do one earlier. I'm going to redo this. So I'm going to click New Sketch. And here are those presets. When I go in here and I click presets, there's different sizes. And you're going to see these numbers might look strange. It's actually in pixels, not inches. I'm going to select the one in the middle. And now you can see that my page is vertical, which is like portrait. I want it to be horizontal, landscape. And then I'm going to select create. And I'm going to discard my current sketch because I do not want it. There we go. All right, so the starting point is I need a circle for my emoji. And I'm going to start with the pencil. And I'm going to choose a color. Right now I'm in brown. And I'm going to just test my my pencil by making a line and make sure it's the right thickness, and I like that. So now I'm going to go to my shape, and I'm going to click and drag, and I'm going to release when it looks like a nice circle. And then I need to fill it with a color. So I'm going to select the paint bucket. I need a yellow. This yellow has too much red in it. It's like a yellow ochre. So I'm going to move over to that circle area here where it's more yellow. And I'm going to click on the dot again. And I'm going to click on this where it shows the little layer and the drop, and click into the circle. And that's going to automatically fill the circle. Next up is the eye. New layer. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in on my circle. And actually, I'm going to zoom out first. I'm going to pinch out. I don't like how low my circle is here. So I'm going to go back to that layer. You can hear my dog crying in the background. I'm going to use the selection tool. And I'm just going to quickly select this. And then I'm going to go to the move tool. And I'm just going to move it up towards the middle here. And then hit done. Okay, now I'm going to go back to this layer, and I'm going to make the eye. I'm going to pinch out so I can zoom in. I'm going to go back to that pencil. I'm going to check the color. I'm going to use this brown that's preloaded. Check the thickness of my stroke. Hit undo. And I want you guys to choose an emoji that kind of evokes your personality a little bit. And so I want to be happy. So I'm going to do the happy emoji, and that has those really cartoony eyes that go up like this. And you can notice that my line looks a little bumpy. What I want to show you is that this tool on the top of the toolbox there that I just clicked on is in fact a really good thing to use. It's predictive stroke. What it does is it automatically smooths your lines. So if I go to draw that arched eye again, it automatically smoothed it. So it's just, you see how it's just a little bit cleaner. So I like that eye better. I'm going to go to my selection tool. I'm going to choose the lasso, and I'm going to select the one I don't like here. And I'm going to erase that. I'm going to delete it. And I'm going to do that. There's my erase tool here. And I'm going to erase inside there. And then I'm going to click on the selection tool again. And there we go. Done. All right, so I have that one eye. I'm going to go back to the layers. I'm going to move that eye to where I think it needs to be. And I'm going to change the size of it. It's a little too big. And I'm using this skew guy here so I can do like all kinds of things with it, but I want to try to keep it symmetrical. Done. And then I'm just gonna, go back. I'm gonna grab that move tool again, and I'm gonna put them where I think it needs to be. And I'm gonna choose the marker. I'm going to check the size. Yep, that's pretty good. And I'm going to fill this in. And Now, I don't have a picture of an emoji in front of me. I recommend that you guys do that. Open up your phone, take a look at what your emotional emoji you're doing so you can do it properly. I think I need to add a darker color inside of this, if I remember correctly. So if I open up that color, you can see this color picker menu comes up, and I can actually go and take that color exactly how it is and make it a darker shade. Right, there's a word that you guys know, and I can go in here and I'm going to add another layer that feels like the inside of that eye. Okay, so that's done. I'm going to pinch in, take a look, go to my layers, and I'm going to click on that layer. I'm going to duplicate it. So now I have two of them. They're right on top of each other, so I can't see that there's two. So the bottom layer I'm going to lock by clicking on the little lock icon on the bottom left. And then I'm going to go to the layer above it, use my selection tool, and then I'm going to pull it over. And there you have it. I have two eyes. Click done. Now I'm going to do the smile. So again, I want to draw with the pencil. And I'm going to check my color. I'm still on that brown color. It's a little dark. I could go to the lighter one. Click OK. And if you remember, you have these fabulous guides up here. And I clicked on it, and this curve came up immediately, which is great because I do need to make that smile face. So I'm going to just pull this down as a guide, and I'm going to trace around it to make that smile. There's my smile, and I'm going to, oops, I don't want that. I'm going to move it up. And can I pinch this in? Look at this. This is so much fun. And that could be the other part of the smile. Or I think actually I'm just going to freehand that, but I'm going to use that predictive stroke. And I'm going to close the smile like that. And then I'm going to go to the layer. Oops, look what I did. I left the eye, the smile and the eye on the same layer. I don't want to do that. I want them on separate layers. So what do? Grab that selection tool. Go to that smile. I'm going to grab it. And now the question is, how do I copy and paste that onto another layer? And I'm not quite sure I know how to do that. I know how to do it from my keyboard, but it's not doing it from there. So what do? Let's see. I'm selected, and I'm not sure how to do it. I'll have to get back to you on that. I'll have to see how we can do. So he's going to stay there, I guess, on that layer with the eye, unfortunately. Now I'm going to go in and go back to my pencil, and I'm going to add the bottom for his teeth, and I want to select that, and I want to distort that a little bit. So I'm going to go to the transform tool, and I'm going to skew it. I want to bring this smile up like that, and the middle down a little bit. That looks better. Done. Okay, and now I need to fill the teeth with some white, and so I'm going to select that marker again. I'm going to go to the color. I'm going to pull the slide rule all the way to the right, which gives me the white, that bottom one. And I'm then going to do a little test, see how it goes in. I can make him a little bit bigger, and I could zoom in. I'm going to make that bigger so I can move faster. And if you remember from the other tutorial, what you can do is you can do this on a different layer, and then put the line part over the shading so that you don't see the edges sticking out and your outline actually covers it. And if you don't remember how to do that, you should go back and watch the original video. Okay, so done with that. Let's zoom back out. There's my little smiley face. The other thing I want to do is show you how to make your emoji look a little bit 3D. And you remember from our elements project, in order to do that, you want to have a light, a dark, and a medium. So the medium color would be this yellow. And here's that yellow. If you click on that dropper and then click somewhere on the sketch, you will get the color that you used. And now I'm going to darken that color a little bit. And you can see that this middle one gives it a shade. And then this other one also can darken it. It's looking a little yellow, green. I don't like that. I want to go more into this golden color. I'm going to shift over. I'm going to lighten it up a little bit. And I don't like that, so I'm going to start over. Go back. And I'm just going to move it over more towards this orange. And then darken it a little bit from there. And then I'm going to hit OK there. And I'm going to use the airbrush for this. So this is that flow airbrush. And before I go on my piece, I'm just going to test it. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. There we go. Get rid of those. And I'm going to go back to my layers. I'm going to put a new layer on. And I'm going to make the light coming from this direction. That means the shadow is on this side. So I'm just going over this a couple times. You can see now that the shadow is on that side, which means the light is on the opposite side. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to do the slide rule on the bottom all the way to the right. So I have the white, and then I'm going to put the white highlight on the opposite side. There we go. So now you can see how this has some dimension. And what I did is I stroked that a couple times. This way it builds up and it's not solid. It's really has a nice flow to it. Okay, so now what? How do I make it my own? If it's me, I need to add some hair. So what color hair do I have? Oh boy, let's see. Probably going to be in the brown area. And so let's click here to start. Move this out of the way. Okay, right about there. Okay, good. And now I'm going to darken that up a little bit. And I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to start with the pencil. Let's test the line. That looks good. And now I need to think about where the hairline is. So if we were actually drawing a person and the eyes were in the middle, I'm going to do a new layer here. If the eyes were in the middle, this would be, your head would actually be a little bit bigger, right? Your head would be really like this. But we're doing emoji, so it's a little bit different. When we're doing cartooning, things shift a little bit. And so I'm going to delete this. Okay, and so that hairline, the reason why I'm showing that to you is the hairline would actually be a little bit higher. Now my hair is parted on the side, and so I'm going to make this part. And I'm going to use that predictive stroke again so that my hair has a nice wave to it. And I'm going to click out of this little icon on the far right. If you click it, it gets rid of all your tools, so they're out of the way. And so here's my hair. And then I'm going to add some from the back. Okay, so there's my outline of my hair, and I can go in and fill that in. I'm going to use that fat marker again, and I'm going to go in and fill that in. Oh, I hear. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to go to my color, and I'm going to make it a little bit darker. And if you remember, the dark side was on this side. Okay, so you get the idea. So now from here, what I want you to do is I want you to use the type tool.